Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the top 10 sports games that are worth $50 and up. So, most sports games aren't really worth that much. Maybe 5, $10 on the high end. But typically, when you go into thrift stores or Goodwill or what have you, most of the games you're going to see there are sports games, and some of them are actually worth quite a bit. So I'm going to go through a top 10 list today and show you which ones to keep an eye out for. All right, so number one on this list is NBA Hang Time for the PS1. So with most of these games, the reason why they're so valuable right now is either they're very rare or there just weren't there weren't a lot of them made, or they weren't very popular at the time that they were made. So right now I'm going through some of the sold comps right now, and it looks like it's going for 50, maybe $60. These ones are graded, so they're worth a little more. I personally don't grade games, but yeah, this one's definitely one to keep an eye out for. Next is PGA Tour, or PGA European Tour, for the Nintendo 64. So, again, this could be one you go to your local Goodwill and you just see sitting there, and you're thinking like, oh, it's just a golf game. Like, this couldn't possibly be worth that much. Well, taking a look at some of these, it's going for about 60, maybe $70. Maybe a little more if you got like the case, manual, completed with everything. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for this one because this could be worth quite a bit. So next, number 3 on this list is Jimmy Connor's Tennis for the NES or NES, depending on how you want to go about it. So what I'm doing right here, I didn't go over this at first. So what I'm doing here, I'll type in the game that I'm looking for, then I'll go over to filter and go down to the sold comps. So now it's pulling up everything that's actually sold. So this is what it's actually selling for right now. So, and everything on this list, this is everything that's sold within the past 90 days. So these are more recent sales. So it's still going for what I'm showing you here. And obviously, if you have the manual and case and everything, it's going to go for a little more. But even just the game itself goes for quite a bit. So next, number 4 is College Hoops 2K8 for the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. I'm just pulling up the PlayStation 3. Typically, the PS3 games that do a little better than the Xbox 360 games. But yeah, this one's going for quite a bit as well. I personally never really played sports games growing up. I'm not really sure why it's going for this much. But I mean, if you know why it's going for this much, comment down below and tell me, because I would love to know. And number 5, if you've been reselling for any length of time or sold sports games in the past, you probably know about this one. And if you don't, you need to. And that is NCAA 14 football for the PS3 and Xbox 360. So this one used to be worth a lot more than it is now. It was worth a lot more because it was the last NCAA game that came out, or football game that came out. Had something to do with, I'm honestly not sure why they stopped, but they recently said they're coming out with a new installment of the NCAA series, so the value of this particular game went down quite a bit. So next, we got Pro Sport Hockey for the NES. Again, I never played this game growing up. I never heard about this until I researched it, and I could not tell you why it is going for this much. Sorry, I'm terrible at spelling and typing and stuff. Not the NES, or not the Super NES, NES. So, yeah, NES. Pro Sports Hockey for the NES. So, again, I can't tell you why it's going for as much. Again, if you know, like, comment down below, because I am not sure. I've researched it trying to figure out why it is worth what it is, but I couldn't figure it out. So next is number 7. That is Stunt Racer for the N64. So we're going down to Sold Comps again and pulling those up. Again, these are games that have sold within the past 90 days. And it's going for well over $200. $400 even. So, yeah, again, I'm not too sure of the... I've never personally played this game. I couldn't tell you why it's worth that much. And number 8 is Super Bowling for the Nintendo 64. So, again, this would be a very unassuming game if you walk to a thrift store, you pick it up, and you're like, oh, it's just a bowling game. Like, surely this isn't worth any sort of money, but okay, that's... Yeah, it's crazy how much some of these go for. But yeah, do your research. If you see a game and you're not sure what it is, especially the older ones, look them up. Like, I'm going over the top 10, like $50 and up, but there's tons of them that are worth like maybe 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks. So yeah, if you see one you're not sure of, do your research. Look them up. Number 9, NCAA College Basketball 2K3, specifically for the Nintendo GameCube. It does not go for as much on the Xbox and PS2. I want to say it was on PS2 or maybe PS1. But yeah, it's only on the GameCube it goes for this much. Again, I am not sure why. If you know, tell me in the comments, because I've tried researching why this game is worth this much on this particular console, but I'm not sure. I'm just showing you the results. That's how much it's worth right now. And number 10, ending it off, is Disney Sports Basketball for the Nintendo GameCube. Again, Nintendo GameCube. There are other Disney sports games. Those ones do not go for as much. Like, I think there's football and maybe another one, but basketball for the GameCube is going for some crazy money, like well over $300. So, yeah, keep a lookout for them. All right, so that is it. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If this video was helpful at all, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more. It would help the video out a ton. And until next time.